Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I feel like it's been a long time since I met you all, isn't it? Forgot the portions? Do you at least remember which chapter we have reached? Yes? Okay. So, how are you all doing? Fine? Good? Great? What is it? Or tired? Frustrated? Exhausted? Tell me, speak up. Tell me something. Egna,
Fine.
fine. Had too many classes from the morning?
Only two classes.
Only two. Okay. So, how are you all actually? Tell me something. Anything that you like to speak about. Reina, tell me something. Tell me something that you always wanted to tell to somebody but you could not. Or you wanted to tell me but you did not get a chance. Tell no. Something or the other.
What did I say, ma'am?
That also I'll give notes for that and I'll send it to you on the previous day and then you'll speak up in class. Should I do that? Nothing to tell.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi, hello. Amal, would you like to tell something? Tell something, please. Nothing. Aishwarya,
Nothing.
nothing. Okay. So tell me which chapter are we studying?
Human memory.
Human memory. Okay. And where have we reached? We have finished the three processes that is encoding, storage, and retrieval. Then we have finished the information processing approach model. In that we have started with the Atkinson Shiffrin model. That is the stage model. What is the first stage? Um, Aishwarya,
Sensory memory.
sensory memory. And the second stage is Meghna.
Secondary memory.
Uh. After sensory memory,
Short term memory.
short-term memory. And third one that we are going to learn is, what is it, Raina?
Long term memory.
Long-term memory. Okay. So in all these stages, we saw three stages. That is sensory memory, short-term memory, long-term memory. The information coming from our environment or from inside our body, internal or external environment, the information gets registered into what? Information gets registered into what?
Long term.
Hmm. First, the information comes and goes straight away to the long-term.
Sensory.
Sensory. First, what happens is information comes and then it enters the first box. That is the sensory memory. Okay, sensory memory. Then what happens? We have to, there is a process here. What is the process here? Do all the information that comes into the sensory memory goes into the short-term memory? Yes or no? No. Then what happens? We have to give our what to the information?
Attention.
We have to give our attention. So The information that is attended to, or that is noticed, or that gets selected by a selective attention, that goes into the short term memory. That is called STM, short term memory. And in the short term memory, if it has to stay in the short term memory itself, there has to be something called rehearsal. One type of rehearsal called maintenance rehearsal. Please note that maintenance rehearsal. Maintenance rehearsal. Okay, that is for the information to be maintained in the short term memory, STM itself. Then, if it has to be transferred into the LTM, which is called the long term memory, then this information, the short term memory, has to be elaborated and then rehearsed. So that forms the elaborative rehearsal. Elaborative rehearsal. Okay. So when the information comes from this side, from here information comes. Okay. That enters the sensory memory. That the sensory receptors of our body, they gain this information, they register it in the form of sensory memory, which is for a few seconds. After that, when we attend to that thing or the stimulus or any information, that enters the short-term memory. If it has to be present in the short-term memory itself, then we have to rehearse it. We have to practice it again and again. That is called maintenance rehearsal, because we have to maintain that particular information inside the STM. For maintaining the information inside the STM, we have something known as maintenance rehearsal. Then, if it has to be transferred to the long-term memory and has to be maintained the long-term memory, then we need another type of rehearsal called elaborative rehearsal. Elaborative rehearsal means the rehearsal which is done in terms of all the meaning, all the different sources of information. Suppose if we have to register a particular food. Suppose let it be pasta. You're hearing it for the first time. You're seeing it for the first time. Pasta. And then you have to understand that there are different types of pasta. You have to understand its shape. You have to understand from which country is this food originated. How does it taste? You have so much of variety of information about a particular thing, that is pasta, isn't it? Yes. So if you have to, for the first time, if you see, you have the sensation of the vision. If you taste it, you have the sensation of the taste. So that goes into the sensory memory because you sense it. Now, if you really attend to it, if you really give attention to that, then that forms the short-term memory. That goes into the short-term memory. If it has to stay in the short-term memory, you have to maintain it there itself. That is, you have to rehearse it. Finally, if you have to put it into the long-term memory, you have to grab all the possible information about that particular pasta and then continue rehearsing. That is, continue reading about pasta. You might continue eating about pasta. Otherwise, you would have forgotten it by 2 or 3 years because it will be lost from the long-term memory. Not lost from the long-term memory. It won't be actually stored in the long-term memory. The information in the long-term memory has unlimited capacity. That is one unique feature of the long-term memory. If just like the ABCD, you still remember it, no? Even after so many years, you still remember it. It's still there in your long-term memory because you have repeated it. You have been using it for all these years. You have heard that from other people. You itself, I mean, you yourself have rehearsed, kept on rehearsing on this particular topic. It's ABCD alphabets. So you already have it in your long-term memory. Okay. Now these here, what happens? What type of attention is done here? Sustained attention, selective attention. What type of attention is there?
Selective.
Selective attention, because from sensory memory we select something and then we give attention for it. So it's called selective attention. Here, if it has to be maintained in the short-term memory, that is called the maintenance rehearsal. If it has to be transferred into the long-term memory and it has to be present there, then it is called elaborative rehearsal. Okay, maintenance rehearsal and elaborative rehearsal. From sensory to short term, the transfer process takes place through the selective attention. Okay, so all these processes, that is selective attention, maintenance rehearsal, elaborative rehearsal, they are all together called something known as control processes. Just check in your textbook, page number 134. They are together called control processes. So which are the three control processes? Raina? Selective attention,
Selective attention,
Hmm.
maintenance rehearsal,
rehearsal, and
elaborate rehearsal.
elaborative rehearsal. There are three main control processes in this particular stage model. That is given by, stage model was given by whom? Two people,
Atkinson,
Atkinson and
Shiffrin.
Shiffrin. So shall we read the long-term memory? Elvina, can you start reading?
Long-term memory. Materials that survive the capacity and duration limitations of the short-term memory finally enter the long-term memory, abbreviated as long-term memory, which has
LCM.
capacity.
Hmm.
It is a permanent storehouse of all information that may be as recent as what you ate for breakfast yesterday to as distant as how you celebrated your 6th birthday.
Hmm.
It has been shown that once any information enters the long-term memory store, it is never forgotten because it gets encoded semantically. That is, in terms of the meaning that any information.
Semantically means in terms of the meaning. Semantics deals with the meaning process. Yes, meaning making process. Yes, if you know the meaning of the word love, then that is because you know it semantically. You know the word meaning. You know the concept. You know what, in what all context it is used. How many meanings does it have in different contexts? All that. So if you know you know some concept meaningfully, then that deals with the semantics. Okay, continue.
What you experience as forgetting is in fact retrieval failure. For various reasons, you cannot retrieve the stored information. You will read about retrieval related forgetting later in this chapter. So far, we have only discussed the structural features of the stage model. Questions which still remain to be addressed are how does information travel from one store to another?
Yes. How
And
does information travel from one store to another? That is from sensory memory to short-term memory, then from STM to LTM. How does it travel? We just discussed it now. From sensory memory to STM, what happens? In the middle of the process, what happens?
Selective attention.
Selective attention occurs. Then if it has to be kept in the STM itself, we do the what rehearsal? Maintenance rehearsal. Then if it has to be transferred from the STM to long-term memory, that is LTM, then what has to be done? What rehearsal?
Maintenance rehearsal.
Maintenance. No. From STM to LTM,
Elaborative rehearsal.
elaborative rehearsal has to be done. Okay, that's the thing that we are going to read next. Okay, thank you, Alvina. Amal, can you continue? Last paragraph, page 134. How does information from there?
How does information travel from one store to another?
Hmm.
As an answer to this question, and Atkinson and Shiffrin propose the notion of control process,
Underline that
which
control processes. Which function?
which function to monitor the flow of information through various memory stores.
Hmm.
As suggested earlier, all the information which our senses receive are not stored.
Hmm.
If that be the case, imagine the kind of pressure that our memory system will be to cope with. Only that information which is attempted to enter the STM
Hmm.
from sensory register,
Hmm.
and in the
In
that
that sense,
senses in that sense
selective attention.
selective attention
Hmm.
selective attention, as you have already read in the chapter 5,
Hmm.
is the first control process that decides what will be what will travel from sensory register to the STM.
Okay,
Sense
underline that selective
impression
attention.
which
That is the first control process. Then,
the sense impression which do not receive attention fade quickly.
hmm.
The STM then set into the motion another control process of the maintenance rehearsal to
Hmm.
retain the information for a much time as required.
Okay, underline that also
As,
maintenance rehearsal.
as the name suggested, these kinds of rehearsal simply maintain the information through the reception, and this
Repetition,
such reception
not reception,
uh,
repetition.
repetition
Repetition.
and with repetition
Hmm.
discontinuous, the information is lost.
Hmm.
And the control process which operates in STM to expand its capacities chunking.
Wait.
Through chunking,
Thank
it's
you. Thank you.
possible to
Complete that. Complete that, Amal. Amal. Amal left.
yes,
Yeah, you
ma'am.
can complete that sentence.
Through the chunking, it is possible to expand the capacity of STM
Hmm.
is otherwise same plus or minus 2.
Okay.
For example,
That's enough. That's enough. So the capacity of STM, that is STM. We learned about a magic number, no? 7 plus or minus 2. In earlier class, we have learned 7 plus or minus 2, which means 7 plus 2, 9. 7 minus 2, 5. Which means 5 to 9 objects can be remembered or maintained in the short-term memory at a time. Okay, that is the general consideration about the short-term memory, about the capacity of short-term memory. STM's capacity is 7 plus or minus 2. Number of objects are 7 plus or minus 2 chunks. We say it's chunks. So chunking, that is also another type of the control processes. Just like the maintenance rehearsal is used for maintaining the information in the STM. Okay, for increasing the capacity of STM, we are using a process called chunking. Now see this number. Okay, can you remember this number at once? 199719942004. Can you remember it? Once you see, and then if I rub, can you remember it? Yes. Yes. What is it, Raina?
1997
Hmm.
1994
Hmm.
2004.
Okay, so you learned it in terms of 1997, 1994, 2004, isn't it? Yes, that is called chunking. This is one chunk, this is one chunk, and this is another chunk. If we were supposed to remember the whole thing in such an order, that is 1997, 1994, 2004, then we won't be able to remember it. Instead, what we do, we group things. So this can be considered like an year, isn't it? 1997. That is the year in which I was born. Then we have 1994. Then we have 2004. Like that we can chunk. Similarly, for phone numbers also we use the same thing, no? Like if it was 962351294 1. Okay. What do we generally do? We study it like this. Either 9623 is learned first, then 512941. Others might be interested in chunking it like this: 96235. That might be one chunk. Then 12941. That is also another way of chunking. Then similarly, yeah, look at that activity 7.1 in the textbook. She tried to remember the following list of digits. That is individual digits: 1, 9, 2, 5, 4, 9, 8, 1, 1, 2, 1. Much easier than that is the other one given on just below that: 1925, 49, 81, 121. So chunking makes it much easier for you to remember things. Similarly, just see: 1 square, 3 square, 5 square, 7 square, 9 square, and 11 square. That is another way in which you can easily chunk or group things and remember things. Understood? So that long list of numbers can be shortened into or grouped into these many chunks. That is the way of chunking that is used to increase the capacity of the STM, short-term memory. Understood? Okay, Meghna, just complete the reading from chunking.
Through chunking, it is possible to expand the capacity of STM, which is otherwise 7 plus or minus 2 equal to 2. For example, if you are told to remember a string of digits such as 194719492004, you may create the chunks as 1947, 1949, and 2004, and remember them as the year when India became independent, the year when the Indian Constitution was adopted, and the year when the tsunami hit the coastal regions of India and the Southeast Asian countries. From STM, information enters the long-term memory through elaborative rehearsals. As
We
against
already discussed. Okay.
maintenance rehearsals, which are carried through silent or vocal repetition, this rehearsal attempts to connect the to be retained information to the already existing information in long-term memory. For example, the task of remembering the meaning of the word humanity will be easier if the meaning of concepts such as compassion, truth, and benevolence are already in place. The number of associations you can create around the new information will determine its permanence. In elaborative rehearsals, one attempt to analyze the information in terms of various associations it arouses. It involves organization of the incoming information in as many ways as possible. You can expand the information in some kind of logical framework, link it to similar memories, or else can create a mental image. Figure 7.1 that presents the stage model of memory also depicts the arrows to show the manner in which information travels from one stage to another.
Yes, look at that figure 7.1 again. That is how it goes. Just in the order that we learned. That is, information comes, sensory memory, then goes to short-term memory, and goes to LTM, long-term memory. So long-term memory has unlimited capacity. If you have managed to put something into the long-term memory, then it will stay there itself. Okay. And the forgetting process, when we learn forgetting in this chapter, you'll understand what goes wrong when we try to retrieve the information from the long-term memory. Most of the problems come in the way back. That is in retrieving the memory. The memory might be there in the LTM itself, but we have some problems in retrieving it, recalling back the memory. Okay. So yeah, just continue that. We'll just finish it off. Okay, you're tired? Then I'll ask somebody else to read. Ashish, can you read? Ashish? Yes, read the last paragraph, page number 135.
Experiments which were
Which were same.
experiments which were carried out to test the state model of memory has produced maximum result while experiment
They have produced mixed
equal-
results, not maximum.
mixed result
Anna
which
and Grishma, switch on the video.
while some experiments
Elvina,
uniquely
switch
shows
on the
that
video.
the STM and the LTM are
Indeed,
indeed to
two
separated
separate. Hmm.
memory stores.
Hmm.
Other evidences have questioned their
Hmm.
distinctivities.
Question their distinctiveness. Okay. For example,
For, for example, early it was shown that it is the STM information is encoded accordingly while
acoustically. Acoustically means, just note that word. That's a new word for you. Acoustically, which means in terms of sound. I'll write down the spelling. Acoustically. A-C-O-U-S. Acoustically. Acoustically. Which means in terms of sound. In terms of sound. Okay. So that sentence says, it was earlier shown that in the STM, that is the short-term memory, information is encoded acoustically, while in LCM, it is encoded semantically. Semantically means, what did I tell you? Semantically means, Ekna, what is it?
In terms of
In terms of,
sound,
that is acoustically. Semantically means in terms of
deals with meaning.
meaning, exactly. So acoustically means in terms of sound, and semantically, should I write once more? I'll write once more. Note that also. Semantically means in terms of meaning. In terms of meaning. Okay. So in earlier it was thought that in STM the information was stored only in terms of sound, that is acoustically, and in LTM it was stored in terms of meaning, which is called semantically. Okay. Then what happened? Ashish, continue.
while
But
in
later,
the
but later from there.
but, la- but later experiment evidences shows that the information can also be encoded semantically in the STM and accordingly
Acoustically, not accordingly.
acoustically in
Acoustically in
LTM.
LTM. Okay. Then next paragraph. Raina, read. That is just about an experiment. Please note the names of people who conducted the experiment. Okay. Not a very famous experiment, but still note that. Chalice and Warrington. Raina.
Charles Warrington, in the year of 1970, had cited the case of a man known as KF who met with an accident and damaged a portion of his left side of his cerebral hemisphere.
Okay, just a minute. Do you know why the alphabets are used there? KF. Anybody? Instead
They
of
don't,
giving the full name, why is it given as
don't
KF?
mention his name.
Sorry, dear. What did you say?
They don't want to mention his name.
They don't want to mention his name. That is one reason. Another reason?
In experiment, there doesn't disclose any personal information of that experiment.
Yes. Yes. Any other opinion? Anything related to the something that we studied in ethics? What Meghna and Reina said is correct. Do you want to say any more points on that? Yes, Alvina?
They use like when the first, I mean, in a name they use the first capital. If there
Yes.
is two persons, they use the first capital, and another person's first capital letter of their name.
Exactly. If there is a first name and the second name, we use the uh, first alphabets of both the names in order to mention their names. They use codes so that no outsider can identify these participants with their names. Okay. Confidentiality. Remember confidentiality? Yes. This is something related to the ethics. That is why the person's name might be some Kate Fernandez or something. Okay, starting with K and F. So the experimenters or the people who did the research is not disclosing the identity of the person who participated in the study. Okay, that is why it is given KF. Okay, continue, Raina.
Subsequently, it was found that his long-term memory was intact, but the short-term memory was seriously affected.
Yes.
The stage model suggested that information are committed to the long-term memory via short-term memory, and if Chaos short-term memory
Was affected.
was affected, how his long-term memory be normal? Several other studies also shown that memory processes are similar, irrespective of whether any information is retained for a few seconds or for many years, and that that memory can be accurately understood without posting.
Adequately understood without
Posting separate memory stores. All the evidence led to the development of another
conceptualization about
memory, which discussed below as the second model of
memory. Okay. So what is the name of the model of memory that we learned now, given by Atkinson and Shiffrin? What is the name of the model? The stage model. Okay. So for any theory that comes, okay, whatever theoretical concept comes, talking in terms of psychology, whatever theory comes, then there'll be some people who are for that theory and some other people who are against that theory. Okay. Those who are against that theory, what they do is they try to develop some other theory which opposes this particular previous theory. So now we learned about the stage theory given by Atkinson and Shiffrin. Now, with the case of KF, what happened to him? He met with an accident, and what happened? What happened? Just read and see. He met with an accident, and what happened to his cerebral hemisphere? Damaged a portion of which side?
Left side of cerebral hemisphere.
Yes, he damaged the portion of the left side of the cerebral hemisphere. And what was found was that the long-term memory that was intact, but the short-term memory was affected. So as per the model that we learned now, according to the stage model, how does information goes? The first store is Elvina, which is the first store?
Sensory memory.
Yeah, sensory memory is the first store. So here information comes and then it enters another store. What is it called, Amal? Amal?
Ma'am, short-term memory.
Yes, the short-term memory, otherwise called the STM. And then here attention takes place. Okay. And here elaborative rehearsal takes place. And then what is there here? Aishwarya?
Long-term memory.
Long-term memory, also known as LTM. Okay. Here we have elaborative memory. In order to maintain the STM itself, we have maintenance rehearsal. Elaborative rehearsal. Sorry, I made a mistake there. So, if we consider KF's case according to this particular model, Then what happened to him? The STM was not working properly, but LTM was intact. Okay, how does that happen? But according to this theory, what have we learned? The information first enters sensory memory, then if it is attended, it enters STM, then if it is rehearsed, it goes to the LTM. That is what we learned in stage theory, isn't it? Stage model. But KF's case, that is a case which opposes this theory. How does it oppose? How does it oppose, Raina? What happened to KF? The STM was? STM was?
That cannot
Yeah,
not
he cannot. Yes, he cannot memorize anything from the STM, but long-term memory remained intact. There was no problem with the long-term memory. That is how new researchers came and thought about this thing, and then they later tried to find out or give up another model in order to explain the human memory. That is the next theory that we are going to learn, that is levels of processing. Just see the name, the next heading, levels of processing, that was given by Craig and Lockhart. Underline that and keep. Till now we studied about a stage model that was given by
Atkinson and Shift.
Atkinson and Shiffrin. Now the next model will be levels of processing. Note down that and keep, levels of processing. Levels of processing given by Craig and Lockhart. Craig and Lockhart. Lockhart. It's not HEART, it's HART. In the year 1972. Okay, this we'll be learning in the next class. Don't worry about it. So stage model, is that clear for you all? So before stage model, we learned about three processes that any memory undergoes. What were the three processes? Encoding, storage, and retrieval. In encoding, the registration takes place. In storage, the registered thing is stored in a memory system. And then in the retrieval process, what we do is we gain information that is already stored. We recall the information for you to perform some activity. The example that I gave was your mathematical equations. Okay, when you go for maths exam, you memorize it, you retrieve it from your memory. Then we learned the information processing model. With what did we compare the human memory? Ashish, the human memory was compared with the computer system. Very good. So the human memory was compared with the memory of the computer system. Just like we store information in a human memory, the computer also stores information in terms of the internal storage, external storage, RAM, ROM, all those things. Okay. And just like we can get any information from the stored computer system, we can also receive information or retrieve information from a human memory also. That's how the comparison was made. Based on this comparison, we studied about one theory. That is the first theory that we learned about human memory. It is called the what model? Elvina, what model?
Stage model.
Stage model. Okay. And given by, I already repeated that too many times, Atkinson and Shiffrin. And the stage model consists of three stores, that is sensory memory, then it has the short-term memory, then it has the long-term memory. Okay, and the control processes that we learned today in today's class, that they are the selective attention, then the what rehearsal, Raina? What two rehearsals are there?
maintenance rehearsal and elaborate rehearsal.
Then elaborate rehearsal. And what is one new thing that we learned? We group everything together in order to increase the capacity of STM. What is it called? Anybody?
Chunking.
Chunking, correct. We make it into chunks and then we try to memorize things. That would be much easier. So if you have to study a long paragraph of some theory, what do? You chunk it. You group it into different small pieces, and then you learn the chunks. So it'll be much easier for you to memorize that later on. For the exam also, upcoming exams also, try that. Chunking is very useful. And in this chapter, after completing the theories, we learn about so many memorizing strategies, including chunking. Okay. So any more doubt? Any doubt till now? Did you understand KF's case? Yes, he met with an accident. The cerebral hemisphere, the left part of the cerebral hemisphere was damaged, and then LTM remained intact, but STM was not working properly. So that is how the stage model was opposed, or the stage theory was opposed, and then some other people came up with new theories. One among them is the levels of processing by Craig and Lockhart, which we'll study in the next class. Okay. Okay, then see you all. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.